Hello, my most amazing artists. I hope that you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving break. We are going to do something so fun today. It's something that you guys look forward to every year, so I'm very excited. We're going to have to work quickly because we need to finish today so that these will have time to dry. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I know y'all love clay. Okay, so you are going to get a coloring sheet that you can work on when you're done with your clay. It's only to do when you're finished with your clay or while you're waiting on something in case somebody's using something that you need. Okay? We will need to sanitize our hands today. We're going to sanitize before we touch the clay, and then you will wash your hands when you're finished. So this is how this is going to work. We're going to make some ornaments, and we're going to start with a large cookie cutter. So I have some circles. That one kind of has a neat edge. I have hearts. These are the large ones. I have a large star. I have a large bear. So be thinking about one of those. I'll be calling you guys up to the teacher table about 6 at a time, and you're going to choose a large cookie cutter to cut out your first shape with. Then when you're done with that, we'll use a small cookie cutter, and I'll just show you that here. I have a ton of cookie cutters, so be thinking about what you want to use. So the first thing, I'm going to go ahead and roll out a slab for everybody. So you guys won't be doing that. That way, not everybody's using the rolling pins.
A slab is a thin piece of clay that has even thickness all the way across it.
So let's say that I wanted to use the big circle. So I'm going to cut that out. And pop it out of here. So there's my big circle. And then at this point, I could decide that I wanted to add some texture to my big circle. So it's already rolled out. I've got these different texture rollers that you guys can use. So you could pick one. There might be some at your table already. You also have a toothpick. So you could either draw something in here or you could use a texture roller. So I think that I'm just going to use a texture roller. So I'm just going to place my roller and press down. Okay, and I don't really want to change the shape of my circle, so I don't want to press too hard. So now I have these little ridges in here. Okay. And now I'm going to decide what I want to put on top of my circle. So our ornament will be 2 cutouts. So what I'm going to do, once you've done this part, you've cut out your big one, I'm just going to give you a piece of clay. Okay? Whatever you don't use, we have to throw away. So I want to encourage you to use all your clay. You're going to go to your seat, and you're just, instead of using a roller, you're going to use your hand to try to flatten the clay into an even slab of clay. So I can feel this is thin right here, but it's thick over here. So I'm going to kind of work on that thicker side. And then I'm going to decide what smaller cookie cutter I want, and I want the Christmas tree. So I'm going to cut that out, and again, all of this excess clay I will have to throw out if I don't use it. So you could think creatively and think about a way that you might want to use this. All right, and there's my Christmas tree. So my Christmas tree is going to go right on top of my circle. This is going to create my ornament.
Once your small ornament is cut out, you are going to add detail. So I'm using my toothpick and adding what looks like ribbon. I could also use my extra clay to add something. So here I'm forming a star. So get creative, use your extra clay, use your toothpick, and add detail to your top part.
So when you want to add one piece of clay to the next, if you'll recall, you have to do something called score and slip it, or scratch and slip. So I'm going to scratch, see if you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to really agitate the clay. And then on the back of my star, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going one direction and then going across. Now, as long as your clay is very moist, you won't need water for this. I know we've used water in the past, but you won't need water as long as your clay is really moist. So I'm going to add that on. Then when I'm finished, I will scratch and slip my Christmas tree to my circle. So I'm just going to take the back and I'm going to scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch it really good. And scratch where I'm going to put the Christmas tree really good. Really agitate that clay. That's important. And then I'm going to just place and kind of press them on there. Now when I do that, I might have to go back in and add some of my detail back. So think about what detail you need to add before you press your smaller cutout on. So there we go. And then I would need to place a hole in this so that I can hang a ribbon on it. And I will probably do this with a pencil. If you bring me yours when you're totally done, I'm going to write your name on the back so that we know who it belongs to. Because remember, these are going to go in the kiln and they'll kind of get all mixed up in the kiln. So I'll be writing your name and then I'll also be writing your teacher code. So let's say I was 3rd grade Mayfield, I might put 3M. And I will also create a hole for the ribbon. Now you could do your own, but you have to make it big enough because your clay shrinks in the kiln. So there you have it. Now, whatever you don't use, we have to throw away. So if you finish your ornament and you have time and you want to make something out of this little bit of clay that you have left, be my guest. I would love for you to make something else, but just remember we need to have your name and your teacher code on it, and we will be painting these, not glazing them. So think about that. All right, have fun.